We have had an outpouring of comments asking us about exemptions. What kind of exemptions do students who want to pursue ACCA, what kind of exemptions do they get? So in this video, I'm going to go across all the degrees and qualifications that you might have on you before you start ACCA and which of these exemptions are eligible for you. One quick thing, if you'd like to save up on exemption fees, which I'm going for the subjects which I'm going to explain, wait till the end. I'm going to give y'all a way on how to actually make massive savings for these. So starting with the first, if you have completed your grade 10 or grade 12 and you started ACCA, people ask what exemptions do we get? Answer is zero. Second, if you've completed your graduation, right, that's the most common example that we have for people. What exemptions do you get? So if you have completed your Bachelor's of Commerce, which is your BCom or any subset of BCom, so in cities like Mumbai, BAF, BFM, BBI are all subsets of BCom. If you've completed any of these, you get 4 exemptions. Now, important point, a lot of students who are in grade 13, 14, which means FY BCom, SY BCom, they tell themselves that I'm already in SY BCom, for example. If I wait for a year to complete my TY and then I'll start ACCA, I'll get 4 exemptions. My recommendation, Zell's recommendation is don't ever do that, because the time it will take you to complete the 4 papers is anywhere between 6 months to a year max. Right. So if you're in your SY, you have to wait till you complete your TY, which is minimum a year, and then wait for the results, which is probably another 3 to 6 months. So it's a really long stretch, and then most of the time you lose your motivation to study. So just because you're getting exemptions after graduation, don't wait for graduation before you pursue ACCA. That's for your BCom, BAV, BFM, BBI. By the way, guys, hold on. We've been asking all this and most of you all have been adhering to it, but still 89% of our viewers are not subscribing to the channel. So please click subscribe and then go on with the video. Next, BMS in finance, you get 3 exemptions. One of the more popular degrees in India outside of Bombay is BBA. So if you're from Bangalore, Delhi, or any of these other metros, you know that the alternative to BCom is BBA. If you've pursued BBA, you get 1 exemption. Next, Indian CA. Now, this is a little tricky, so I'm going to break it down hopefully in a way that is easy to capture. First, think of it if you've completed your entire CA. If you're a fully qualified CA, out of 13 papers in ACCA, you get 9 exemptions, the first 9 papers. Okay. If you've completed Part CA, which we can call it that you've completed Inter CA or you've completed IPCC, then you get 5 exemptions. So this is the first part. If you've completed your IPCC with your BCom, right, then you get 6 exemptions. So the 5 exemptions of IPCC plus 1 additional paper from BCom. Now, this is a little more in depth, especially if you are pursuing CA right now. If you're at the final level of CA, it means you're either pursuing it or about to appear or have appeared and are reappearing, you may not have to wait to complete your CA to get the 9 exemptions. What happens is, if you're at the final level and you have completed certain papers, you've passed certain papers, but not the entire group. So for example, you have passed at your final level, you've passed the costing paper, the financial management paper, or the financial reporting paper, the accounting paper. Each of these 3 correspond to 3 exemptions in ACCA. So if you've completed IPCC with BCom, you already have 6 exemptions. Then if you've completed, for example, financial reporting in your final CA, you've passed that paper in any of your attempts, then you will get financial reporting as an exemption. If you've also completed your SFM, your strategic financial management paper in final CA, but not passed the whole group, you will get your FM paper exempted in CA. And similarly for costing. It's not necessary that you have to clear your CA to earn your exemption in ACCA. And the same procedure applies for IPCC. Even if you have not completed your entire IPCC, but you've passed in some of the papers while not the entire group, you get those corresponding exemptions in ACCA. So that's to do with your IPCC and your final CA. Lastly, a few other qualifications which students have pursued, our candidates have pursued. If you've completed US CPA, you get 8 exemptions in ACCA. The first 6 papers and then the 8th and 9th paper. If you have completed CMA from US, you get the first 3 papers exempted. If you are a qualified CMA from India, as in you've completed the Indian CMA with 5 years of experience, then you get 9 papers exempted in ACCA. So I think these are the most common degrees and qualifications that students have before they come to ACCA. And I think we've covered majority of them. So guys, most of the other qualifications that you will have will not have ACCA exemptions. If there is something you'd particularly like to check, you can go to the ACCA exemptions calculator. You can just search for exemption calculator for ACCA on Google. And the first thing, you can go there and try whatever they tell you. 99% is generally accurate, and you can foresee the kind of exemptions you will get. So with that said, this is the in-depth video on all the exemptions that you can earn for ACCA. And now, as promised, let me tell you all how y'all would make savings out of this. So in ACCA, what happens is that every time you have to pay for one paper's exemption, you have to pay equivalent to the exam fee. In India, let's assume on an average, each paper, the fees in rupees would be close to 10,000 rupees. If you're a CA qualified member who's about to appear for ACCA, you get 9 exemptions, which means you have to pay close to 90 grand. Actually, you have to pay more than 90 grand. And it really creates a barrier for a lot of people to start ACCA. Similarly, if you're a BCom student, you want to start ACCA, you want to claim exemptions, you have to pay almost 40,000 rupees. Now, because we are associated with ACCA since so many years, and because of our gold partnership, and we're in process of the higher status, ACCA every year gives us certain benefits which we in turn pass on to y'all. So they give us certain codes based on which degree and qualifications our students have pursued. And once we process your registration through those codes, you guys get to save anywhere between 35,000 all the way up to 80,000 just from your exemptions. Now, this has helped a lot of students who are not able to start ACCA because of the high exemption fees, and now they've been able to pursue because we've been able to waive the entire thing off. So you can let us know if you would just like help with exemptions. We'd help you out over there. And if we've missed any degree, any qualification whose exemptions you would like to know about, leave it in the comments and let us know.